Alrighty guys, we got a true gem. Let me zoom that. This is a 2021 RAV4 TRD off-road. And this is actually a personal rig. It's my wife's car. I'll do a quick walk around here. There's about 38,000 miles on it. My favorite part about the TRD off-road is there's a transmission cooler and an 8-speed automatic, not a CVT. Although the eCVT transmissions in the hybrids are really strong, I still like the idea of actual gears. Yeah, there's a walk around of this Toyota RAV4, and we'll kind of come in here, kind of gonna be quick. Got the AC going, some really nice features. Obviously the AC is going. So 37,699, heated and cooled seats. And it's a hot day today, guys. I'm gonna pump the cool on it. But yeah, really like the stitching of the TRD. Rubber mats throughout. Really is a very beautiful car. But for fun here, let's pop the hood and see what powers this beast. I'm sure if you're watching this video though, you already know what powers it. But that's right, baby. That is a 2.5 4-cylinder. Pretty good engine. There's lots out there with lots of miles. We'll see how time will tell on it. But just purrs away. Yeah, there's the beast. Super clean. Love the TRD skid plate underneath there to protect it for off-road uses. Although we'll probably never use it that way. We'll just go ahead and pop in here. Oh, my butt's cool. Man, this is nice. My back's all cool. Check that out, guys. It's not a hybrid, and that's what we average, which is just awesome. Now, we didn't get a super spectacular, crazy deal on this car. It's more so just a good fit, and I liked that it's the TRD off-road where it has the transmission cooler, help that transmission last, and it's not a turboed engine. It does have the newer parking brake. It auto does it. Obviously, wireless key system. We've had it for a couple months. My wife's kept the tag on there. But you can go mud sand. It's like that. Turns the traction control off. You can go to the right, go rock dirt. But for our drive today, we just want to do normal. Yep. That should be just fine. Without further ado here, let's see. Turn the AC down just so you can hear things a little bit better. Pretty quiet vehicle for the most part. And yeah, let's skedaddle here. I'll zoom this back. We'll go on a little test drive here. There, I got our zoom back. Sure drives really nice. Now, in terms of off-road capabilities, you know, it's just, I know it's got the, you know, all-wheel drive system does a good job, but for us, it's just, we kind of live in a snowy area during winter. It's hot right now because it's summer, and so we want to have good traction when the wife's going to and from work. But figured we'd go on a little rip here, kind of give people the idea of what this thing is. Oh, and this is just an unbelievable driving experience. It's a little bumpy. You know, it's obviously got the TRD tuned suspension, although, like I said, I think in my honest opinion, because I've had some off-road vehicles, this is more like a glorified pavement, you know, rig. And what I mean by that is you pretty much can do about anything. Like in this situation, like I'm on a big hill right now in a smaller city, and you know, when winter comes, I'm sure this car being all-wheel drive will do anything we need it to. But is it going to get to the top of the mountain where there's a foot of snow? No. As you guys know, with these vehicles, there's only like 8.5 inches of ground clearance, and so you're a little limited in your off-road capabilities where you really don't want to bottom out on things. But in terms of being a family vehicle to go to work in, and obviously mountain range areas, you can see big mountain range, there's more to the right. We're just, you know, we're honestly less than an hour from Canada. And so, you know, we're gonna get some winters when they come here. But yeah, I wanted to jump onto the highway here. It's pretty quick. Just to do a safe, wide open throttle. One of the things that people say, and it's true, is that this engine's pretty noisy when you give the throttle to it. The direct injection comes in and it really growls. It doesn't move super fast. I would say that the torque and power is absolutely adequate. You know, I don't feel like it's underpowered, but by no means is it a race car. But look, 31.7 miles per gallon. Do you really need it to be a race car? No, that's not why you buy this. You know, it's got, if I remember correctly, like 203 horsepower, similar torque, right around there. I don't know, 180, 190, I don't know, something like that. But it's got adequate power for what it is. There's a little bit of construction right here, but we'll get through it, and then it's wide open highway. As long as they don't make us wait too long here. Gosh, I hope they don't. It's telling us to go. Oh, they went the wrong. Oh, there we go. I'm just gonna go. There we go. They're stopped. All right, we're through. Yeah, see? Now we're to the open highway here. And you know, I'll just 60 miles an hour. We'll watch the speedometer. I'll floor it. See, this is plenty of pick up and go. Nice smooth shift. I'm letting up. Speed limit is what I'm going here, so let's go there. There we go. Anyway, once you're on the road though, like I'll try to be, try to be quiet. See how smooth and quiet of a driving experience this is. It's a lot of fun, phenomenal. There's different settings you can get into to kind of see where your power is being sent. But for me, you know, typically we have the audio, the music on. Here, let's pick a spot to turn around here. Right here looks good as any. All right, let's go from a stop. All right, let's floor it. There it is. Money. This is actually a slight incline. We're going uphill. Nice and smooth. There we go. Might make the miles per gallon drop a little bit. But there we go. Right up to speed, you know. Shifts down nice. You can hear that motor. Here, I'll kind of hear it growl at you when you step on it. But it gets you right back into where you need to be for the best optimal fuel economy. I get it. I really get it. But I think it's cool that these come standard with heated and cooled seats. I think that that's an amazing feature. I feel like that's, I mean, most modern cars, in my opinion, you know, if you're going to be spending the kind of money that these things are, you know, I feel like they should come with just about every bell and whistle personally. No, I do like that the standard heated and cooled seats, because you know, it's a pretty warm, look, there it says outside temp, 88 degrees. It's a warm day today, guys. It really is. And so, it's really neat that that cooled seats. My pack's cool. I got the AC turned down. Blows ice cold, just like it should. Yeah. We'll head back here. But just, man, I told my wife, I said, man, this is the nicest car I've ever driven. That's really what my driving experience of it. I know it's a 2021, relatively new. You know, it's so tight. Then you're just this, where you sit in the driver's seat, the cockpit. I mean, it just kind of hugs you in, dials you into the machine you're running. Kind of like it's just, it does a really, really good job. I believe that the RAV4 is one of the most sought after, most selling SUVs ever made, and there's a reason. Not a huge fan of the teeny engines and turbos, but this has got a big 4-cylinder and an 8-speed, and you know, it should last a long time. Going back to the beginning of this video, I brought up, you know, we didn't get a crazy deal on this. It was more of a fit, and we wanted a specific one. We ended up getting really good trade-in on my wife's old car, which really kind of made us be interested in this. But you know, her old car booked at like 10 grand, and they gave us 9,500, which is just, they really wanted to sell us this car. And you know what, that kind of trade-in offer made us buy it. But we got this for 36,000, and then there was fees, taxes and stuff. But you know, I feel like, you know, I think the value is like 38 and change out the door. And and by the way, the reason why we needed the bigger trade-in is that was what we owed on my wife's old Acura MDX. So we needed that to get out of it, and we kind of started fresh. So, you know, that they ended up selling. We didn't obviously get them down any on the price, but to give us that trade-in was exceptional, and we just kind of had to consider it. But yeah, I figured we're almost back to where this video began. I'd end it by getting outside the vehicle. This kind of was my action plan. I do typically like my videos to be around 10 minutes. That's always kind of my goal, and we're gonna go a little past that. I don't got a bunch of cameras and can really do a crazy job editing. I like to just give people a general insight to the vehicles. I've had a lot of them. In fact, I've had, oh geez, I've owned over 100 vehicles in my lifetime. Here, you know what, I'm gonna back up into this spot so y'all can see the backup camera. But I've owned 100 vehicles in my lifetime. Most of them have been Toyotas, but like 20. And then the other 80 were probably different makes and models. But we'll back right in here. Oh, there's that camera. It's adequate. Sorry for the little bit of dust on there. Certainly not horrible, but we're getting closer to the curb there. Boom. But yeah, see, when you set the parking, when you put it into park, it auto does the parking brake on its own. But yeah, I'll go to the rear of the vehicle so you can see that too. Another thing I believe that comes standard on the TRD off-roads is an automatic liftgate. It's also pretty nice. But yeah, just look at the TRD off-road mats. Like it's nice. Obviously it's an expensive vehicle, but it is nice that it has that. And you got your power port here, you know, Toyota and their little things like that. I love it. Cover up any cargo in the back you don't want people to see, and then boom. So yeah, automatic rear lift gate. This vehicle specifically, obviously we put different tires on it. The ones that came from the factory were pretty bald. Put brand new Goodyear all seasons on it. And I did, here, I'll walk over here so we can get a look at it, kind of go through the maintenance of it. I do a lot of maintenance myself. And so I did the transfer case fluid, and I did the rear differential fluid on this RAV4 along with the oil change. And it's, you know, in terms of doing those as a DIY, do it yourself kind of DIY, I should say, is it takes longer to take the bottom panels off, the skid plates and stuff, to do the servicing than it does to do the servicing itself. It goes pretty quick. You just got to take all the panels off and to expose it. And then I did read on Toyota's board that there's the drive shaft at the front and at the back. There's like 4 nuts that hold the drive shaft on, and to retorque those every 30,000 miles. And I did get a little bit of a turn on one nut in the front and one nut at the rear, just a little bit, like an 1/8 to a 1/4 turn. But I see why they want those retorqued every 30,000 miles. I do think that would be useful for someone to have. The rear's exposed. There's no skid plates back there. You can see the rear differential and you can see the drive shaft come in, but the front, you got to take everything off and apart. But yeah, no, we've absolutely loved this vehicle. It's been a great one for us. Super excited about it. You know, time will tell, but I feel like, you know, it's better to go, you know, true automatic transmission, no turbo stuff, although all these RAV4s have the 2.5 in them. But, you know, it's just been a wonderful car to have. I mean, we're getting 32 as our average miles per gallon, which is awesome. And yeah, you know, we're looking forward to seeing what the future has, and maybe, you know, I'll have some future videos on this. This is a personal vehicle. And so maybe I can go through the next servicings. If I do them, I can video them and add them to my channel. But yeah, just thank you so much for watching. You know, like I say in all my videos, I hope everyone has a great day. Appreciate anyone who watches. And my overall review of this, honestly, if you don't need a car that can fit, you know, big old family in it of like 5 kids, like if it's more of a work car, or if you have 2 or 3 kids where you can fit, exceptional. Only time will tell, but for me, this is a 10 out of 10 car. It's just a beautiful driving experience. So yeah, I'd recommend this to anybody. Of course, they're not cheap, they're not free, but I believe them to be well made. And time will tell on you know, 10 years from now what's left, and you know, how many more decades it may have. So we'll have to see. But I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care.